Hey guys, Blonde Ass and Ortalkascaster here, and today we are going to be doing another, hold on, let me just buy this, yeah, another Witch to Evil 3, and this one is going to be on, that is right, Odin. I am kind of stoked to talk about Odin, to be honest, as I know the last couple have been pretty short, but let me tell you guys right now, this one, there were 4 Odins, guys. There were actually 4 Odins rather than like the kind of 3 Shivas and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about with Odin. I guess in keeping that in mind, we're going to just come right into it. We're going to start with Fire Odin. Fire Odin is really great for honestly everything. Great lead skill on PvP defense. Great debuffs, great skills for PvP defense. Its typing is super great to have type diversity, just a force to reckon with. As well, it can be really good for golems, titans, dragons, just because it has a really nice defense down and attack down combination, which makes it just a force to reckon with. Just an overall solid and versatile monster. Next up is Water Odin. Water Odin has a 100% chance stun on a 3-star and 70% chance stun on 5-star. Great for Tower Chaos, great for, not great, but it's alright for PvP defense. Would not use it on PvP offense. I will talk about the difference between water and fire and why I prefer one over the other afterwards. Next up is Wood Odin. Wood Odin is an attacker. Wood Odin, it's a pretty decent attacker. It can be good for progression, as well as a really good like self-sustaining attacker if you really need one. On top of that, it is probably one of the better Titan Mons since it has that self heal on the 3-star and 80% chance for defense down on 5-star, which is still very useful for Titans. For Light Odin, it's a sapper basically. Really, not that many applications for it. It's not really good. I would not recommend Evo 3 it under any circumstances. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate monster to be a Light Dark Knight 5. Lastly is, oh boy. Honestly, I thought this video was going to be long, but now that I think about it, it might not be that long. Alright. This is the second best monster for PvP defense. We'll see what the best monster is. Ooh, I know all you guys thought it was going to be Dark Odin, but I don't think so anymore. Anyways, it's so incredibly good for PvP defense. It's also great for PvP offense. And it's also, it can be very good for some progression. It's not as good as something along the lines of as a Wood Odin for like golems and stuff like that, but it can definitely help as it won't really die, and it will also be able to have a 80% chance for 3 turns on defense down. That's really strong. Yeah, so we're gonna just talk about, first off, outside of PvP, because you guys know I like to keep PvP for last. So, outside of PvP, you guys, I already said, we're basically going to be dealing with Wood and Fire Odin. Talking towards Wood Odin is going to be mainly used for speeding up golem runs or a Titans monster. If you already have everything you want for PvP and you really want to do some more damage in Titans, to be honest, it really depends what you want to do, but I would probably recommend Wood Odin over Fire Odin for Titans, and that's simply because for Fire, you look what you have already. You already have, where is him? You have Boltwing already, which has the same pretty much the same skills except with lower proc rates, and you have where is he? What the heck? Yaksha. You have Yaksha already, who has an 80% chance attack down. So you don't really need you really don't need the Fire Odin. Just if you're looking for a Titans mon, Wood Odin is probably better. Just because Woods lack some great defense downers, and this one also self-sustained, so it's a very strong monster for Titans. However, for dragons, I'd probably stick with the Fire Odin. Mostly because the water dragons are going to be on floors 1 and 6, and for late game when you Evo 3 you're Nat 5, you're probably going to want to be struggling with 7 through 10, which Fire Odin and its debuffs are going to be a lot better for than the Wood Odin. Same thing kind of goes for golems. I would probably say that Fire Odin is going to be, honestly, I wouldn't use either of those Odins, any of the Odins for golems. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably choose Wood Odin just because it is an attacker and stuff like that. And the attacking is going to be a lot more useful than just a 3-star defense down. If it was a 5-star defense down, that might be a little bit different. But yeah, to summarize so far before I get into PvP, because that's where it gets a little bit tricky-ish, but honestly not really. I would say that for example, story mode, Wood Odin pretty much wins. Fire wins in dragons, just mainly because of typings. In Titans, Wood Odin wins, again, a little bit because of typings and also because of other options besides fire that you can use. And in Golems, I'd probably say Wood wins as well. So Wood's pretty much the basic outside of PvP monster. Although I guess for dragons, fire wins, but that's pretty much it. Water and Dark are not going to be good for either of those. They're mainly PvP monsters. To talk about PvP offense now, I would say that honestly, Wood Odin is a very, very strong choice for PvP offense. Obviously, all of the Odins are really, really good just because of their leader skill, and they all have decent skills for PvP defenses. But I'd say Wood Odin probably wins in PvP offense, or close to wins at least. It's a very strong monster because number one, it's a self-healer versus a heavy water meta, which means it will be able to heal to pretty much its full health. And it also does have that coveted defense down versus the bruiser meta, which is very, very strong right now. And so its skill set is very, very good in the current state of the defense, PvP defense meta. Secondly, my choice would be, I guess, Fire. Fire is a decently strong monster. It can tank all those water hits with you should have it with high resist. It can take all the water nightmare seals and the water sewer studs and stuff like that. And it'll also be able to dish out some defense downs, which can be very, very useful. The attack down isn't as useful in PvP, but it's still I guess viable. Obviously, now obviously it's also going to have a good impact for being able to split tank with other fire monsters that you might want to use, like such as a Fire Indra, for example, which can also be an added bonus since there are a lot of fire attackers. Moving on to the coveted Dark Nightmare. Okay, or Dark Odin, what am I saying? Nightmare, Dark Odin. Jesus, alright, this thing probably also going to be best on PvP offense, just because, I mean, it's not going to die, 20% SP and HP, and then it has that 80% for 3 turns, which is even better than the Wood Odin or the Fire Odin's defense down, although those only last 2 turns with the same proc rates. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not going to die, it's going to get its SP pretty dang quick with that 20%. So this thing is honestly, I want to say it's probably the best offensive monster. It's hard between this and Wood Odin, though, because Wood Odin, it's probably the best. I don't know if I would say it's the best because of the meta right now, Wood Odin is going to be very, 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 very strong. But however, Dark Odin is also really, really strong, especially versus sustain comps, whereas Wood Odin might get bursted down or like sealed or something like that, and that'll really, really hinder it. Dark Odin should be able to outlast the seal, just survive past the seal, and it won't really die because it'll still heal itself out, and it'll apply defense down, which is obviously like we said, very, very good. And it's a longer defense down. 1 turn might not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. And it's an extra turn of defense down above the Wood Odin, so I'd have to give this one to Dark Odin for PvP offense as well, to be honest. Lastly, if you want a PvP defense mon, I'm not gonna lie, go for Dark Odin. If you have it, obviously not everyone's gonna have it, okay? And I understand that. That's why I'm saying, like, if you have it, Dark Odin is 100% the way to go for PvP defense. If you go anything else, then I'm sorry. I apologize to you, but you chose wrong. There is definitely a right choice in this. This isn't just an opinion anymore. This one, Dark Odin, yes, 100%. Anyways, moving past that, Fire Odin is probably going to be the second best, and the reason it's not Water Odin is because, number one, as I said about before, like with typing and stuff like that, you're going to overload on water, and that's always a bad idea. You don't really want to overload on typings. If you have like Water Persephone, Water Suro, Water Nightmare, stuff like that. And number two, a lot of things are going to have high resistance, which makes 1-turn stuns not very good at all. However, if you compare that to the Fire Odin, Fire Odin has that defense down on the 3-star, and its typing is Fire, which is the only base type that's actually not super overused in PvP defenses. So it can be very, very good on PvP defenses. Plus, obviously, the defense downs is a very, very strong ability right now, and it lasts for 2 turns. So even though they have high resist, when you do land something, it lasts twice as long as the water stuns. And the attack down can be also it's not too great on PvP defense, but it can definitely be utilized in the sense that a lot of people are choosing now to switch from more of sustained comps on PvP offense to more offensive comps to try to speed up their runs, which is understandable, but that means attack down is just very, very effective against those now. Yeah, so Fire Odin is just really, really efficient at dealing with threats just based on its 3-star skill and its typing. Anyways, guys, that basically brings it up. That basically, I guess to summarize, okay, before that, I'm going to summarize that. Basically, Dark Odin, PvP defense. Past that, Fire Odin. And past that, probably Water Odin. For anything else besides PvP, you're going to want to go for Wood Odin more than likely. Unless you're trying to do dragons, in which case Fire Odin. And for PvP offense, probably Dark Odin still. And if not, then probably Wood Odin, I would say. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm actually really hyped that I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm getting better at these, keeping them shorter and stuff like that. But I mean, that's obviously my opinion, doesn't really matter. It's all about what you guys think. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Oh wait, peace out.